Hey, it's People Off here. Today we're doing a video on Kason Quinn, and is he an addy or not? Leave a comment if you think he is or not. Let's get into it. Hey guys, before the video, check out the Flex Offender shirt, and if you're a registered Flex Offender, you can get that one too, looking like that. Crazy cool shirts. They're soft, big, is nice and snug on my arms. If you want to get all the ladies, you gotta get a Torque Here shirt and show them right where the goods are. Link in the bio to the shirts. Check them out. Okay, so Kason weighs 198 pounds at 6 foot as a 16-year-old. So he's actually 30 pounds overweight and is obese, according to the BMI meter. So let's get into see how obese he is. Okay, so getting into his first progress photos, this is the first one of him doing like a little side chest. And you can actually see that he has a little bump in his chest where his rib cage is, which actually really does look... He did start from really nothing, but he does have a little bit of vascularity in his shoulders, and he was lean when he started. Okay, so Kason benches 315 for a questionable reps. The reason why I say this is in this video, you can see him bench up, it pauses, and you actually see the spotter's face repeat of what it did. So it's like 2 reps, but it like, he paused it, and it may look like 2 reps instead of 1 rep. It was very confusing. I'll show another one, actually. Okay, so this is another video of his benching. Okay, so he brings it down, 1, pauses, bring it down, 2, pauses, bring it down, 3 fake reps that just don't make any sense, and it's kind of like a illusion that he benches 15 for 3, but it looks like it's actually just for 1, and he can send me a video if he thinks he's different, but that was very suspicious, and you gotta let me know. Okay, so getting into the physique, so he says he's an arm-dominant lifter. So this is a video of him with his arm-dominant lifts. So he's a front double bicep, which he is arm-dominant, which I saw one video of him having a 16.5-inch bicep, which is actually very impressive. So his ratio between his shoulders and arms in this actually look pretty good. His side chest is always knocked out. With the wife beater kind of cutting out his chest and kind of just showing only his arms and his shoulders and his lats, partial parts of them, he does look pretty good in this video. Okay, so Kason says that he has the biggest back at 16, which is very controversial because there's 8 billion people in the world, and you're saying that he has the biggest back out of all, and that's just very questionable and erratic. It doesn't really make any sense that he would have the biggest back. It's just saying that everyone else just has a horrible back and he has the biggest back. I mean, he could be eating loads of food, you know, a big back, or he could just have a massive back, as in lifting-wise. Okay, so another allegation of having the smallest waist at 16. He not only has the biggest back, but the smallest waist. Why isn't he in the Mr. Olympia yet? Why is he? He just needs to jump straight to the IFBB Pro and win every competition, be a multimillionaire, and just be the best bodybuilder of all time. If you have the biggest back and the smallest waist, I mean, you should just win. You should win everything. Okay, so getting into his arms a little bit more, this is a photo of him doing like some normal curls, seated curls, and actually his arms look really weird. Like his shoulders kind of disappeared, and they just look like they're a part of his bicep. And he's very vascular. I think this is when he's cut, but it looks like he's holding in one of the biggest turds of all time because it looks like he's about to explode. I mean, just take a breath. You know, take a breath between your reps, get some oxygen to those muscles, and keep them growing and pumping. But make sure you breathe on your sets because you do need to breathe to live, so just letting you know. Okay, so getting into his chest, this is the photo of a most muscular. His traps really do come through, and this is honestly probably the best pose he has that he does. Showing, you know, the definition, really just the striations between his chest and his neck. Okay, so now getting into his legs, which is very controversial for bodybuilding. Most bodybuilding physiques have to be leg dominant. Most of the time in males, upper body is always dominant, and usually judges look for dominant lower halves actually more than upper halves due to it being always a lacking physique inside of men. Okay, so this is also a recent photo. I'm not cropping this from a random photo from a long time ago. This is recent. This is his legs. I do think he skips legs often. I'm not being judgmental, mean, or anything. I'm just saying compared to his upper body, we're going to go up to his upper body. It looks like 2 different people, completely different, because he looks like, oh my gosh, the biggest 16-year-old, the biggest back, smallest waist. And then you go down to his legs, and it looks like the smallest legs, the smallest calves, and they just don't have definition like the upstairs does. Okay, so another photo of his legs. This one does have a little bit better. You can see a little bit of the quad, and it still isn't great. it's not as impressive as his upper body still, but he does have a little bit of quad there, and it is there. Okay, so now we have a photo of his hamstrings. So this is his hamstrings, kind of compared to his back. It's very unproportionate, and I'm making this video not to hurt anyone's feelings, but I'm making it to advise you of really just showing you what you're lacking and how you can fix it. This is not hateful at all. He has very impressive parts of his body, but there's also parts that are lacking that are showing through with the other parts dominating. Okay, so this is a back double bi that he has, which is actually very impressive. Again, very good lats. They're very wide and strong. Is actually his shoulder strong point is inside of this. You can see his biceps actually peeking through a lot. His biceps are dominant inside of his physique. But again, his hamstrings kind of make this look unproportionate, and it doesn't really make it like a classic look. Depending on what physique he wants to go into when he turns 19, if he wants to do men's like the swimsuit one where there's really no legs involved, he could do very well in this. But I believe if he wants to do classic bodybuilding, he's gonna have to focus on his legs for 3 more years until he goes into competition. Okay, so this is an example of lighting. So this is Gunner's photo of him having a well-defined back, and it actually looking very big. This is a photo of Kason, which he's actually double the size of Gunner, but the lighting makes it look like they're similar. Okay, so do I think Kason is natty or not? I do think he is natty because of there being lacking portions. Usually when you are on things, your shoulders are more dominant, and he's very unbalanced in a way, but he's also very impressive in other parts of his body that make him look not natural. I do understand lighting pretty well, and I do know that media does shadow things as completely different. For example, David Lane has a crazy physique with lighting, shadows. I know, everything that you need to make look crazy. But without a pump, he actually just looks like a normal guy that lifts often. But lighting makes people deceive themselves as bigger, better, more defined, leaner than what they actually are. For Kason competing when he turns 19, I don't know what he wants to compete in. He wants to compete naturally, but I think he would do good inside of the men's trunk division thing where they're covering their legs and they're not judged off their legs. I think honestly he could do amazing with his upper body and do well and naturally. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if this helped you out at all, and if you enjoyed it, leave a comment of the next person that you want me to do, and I'll do them, and I'll let you know if they're a flex offender or not.